Growing up, my parents didn't really deal with anger in a very healthy way. Because of this, my siblings, my older siblings, didn't really deal with anger really well. So I grew up in a very toxic environment when it came to people getting mad at each other or even with stuff that didn't have to do with the family. For example, my mom sometimes will get really mad at something at work, whether it was with her boss or something didn't go like she wanted it to go. So she will come home and she will be really mad at everyone. Like she will react badly at any minor inconvenience. She will jealous at me and my siblings for no reason. Like she will be really mad at anything and everyone. On the other side, my dad will get really mad at anything. Like he will get mad at every single minor inconvenience. Like for example, there was this time that we were eating lunch, and he got really mad because there wasn't any juice to drink. That's a really silly stuff. That he got really mad about it. So when I was a little kid, I wasn't really allowed to show anger neither. Like they will tell me that I'm just a little girl and I don't have like anything to be mad at, so they will really like invalidate my anger when it came to that. And growing up, when I was allowed to be angry, I will react badly because I will try to mimic the way I saw my family when they got mad. So I will mainly react like my mom. Like if something at school made me really mad or something didn't go like I planned, I will get really mad at everyone in my family and I will like yell at my mom or even at my older siblings, even though I was the younger one. So growing up, I had to learn how to deal with all these toxic behaviors with anger that I grew up with. I feel that when dealing with anger, Dominicans are very unique to dealing with anger. First of all, I think Dominicans can get like really mad at anything. Doesn't matter how small it is. Like Dominicans will get really mad at traffic, for example. They will get really mad at baseball games. They will get really mad even playing domino. And I feel like the best example is specifically playing domino because I feel like it's like a good way to pass time. Like I understand why people play that, but it's also not really serious. Yet Dominicans can get really mad when they lose or where their partner are playing in a bad way or are playing wrong. Yet they can also cool off really quickly. Like they can get really mad really fast and really at small things, but they can also just cool down and chill back down and forget their anger and play and keep playing domino. I feel like that applies to almost anything. Like you can be on a car with a Dominican person and they're driving and they will get really mad because a motorcycle just went really fast and they couldn't see the motorcycle passing through, or someone didn't turn on the signals, like the signals lights that they are going to turn to a direction, and they will get really mad at it and be like cussing and be like saying bad words for a while, and then they are going to cool off and chill down really quickly. So I feel like it's something that's bad. It is bad that Dominicans get that mad at everything, but it's also really good. It's something that I feel like other cultures can learn from, how to chill down so quickly, how to forget that anger so easily and so quickly. Like I said before, dealing with anger with my family wasn't something that was really easy. My family didn't deal with it in the best ways and was more often than not, will react really badly to all anger or mostly any bad feelings that they had. But growing up, I had to learn or unlearn all these toxic traits that I learned from my family. So I feel like what has worked for me the best, it's basically when I'm mad at someone, I will step back for a minute. I will like stop talking with that person. Before I will just like disappear. If we were like texting, I will just stop texting them until I was more calmed down. But now I try to be more responsible with that, and I will like tell the person directly, like, to be honest, I'm actually getting really mad at you, and I don't want to keep this conversation because I'm afraid I'll say something that I don't really mean because I'm really mad right now. So I'm going to step back and I'll stop texting you. I'll stop talking with you for a moment, and then when I'm calmed down, I'll come back to you and we can keep discussing whatever the issue is. So I feel like that's what has helped me the most when it comes to dealing with being mad in different relationships I'll have, like not only personal relationships, but also when it comes to like studying or teachers or anything like that. Also, another thing that has helped me with dealing with my anger is learning who I can argue with. I feel that with social media these days, in platforms like Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, you can get like really carried on arguments with strangers online. So I feel like you have to understand that when someone have like a mindset, you can't always change it. If someone doesn't want to change their opinion on something, you can't just force them to do so. So you have to learn who you can argue with. You can't just argue with anyone and expect them to react and behave the way that you want to, because sometimes people just don't have the maturity, don't have the emotional intelligence to deal with certain emotions and feelings the way that you want them to. So for example, like I said before, my mom doesn't really deal with anger in a really healthy way. She still doesn't, but I'll have to learn with that. And I've understood that she won't understand, and I can't argue with her when she's mad or I'm mad. So anytime that any of us are mad, I just don't really try to talk with her, don't try to argue with her. I usually just let her like vent, I let her speak her mind per se, and then I usually don't like try to convince her of my points. I usually just like settle down to what she feels and what she wants to do, because sadly, that's what it is, that's what I'll have to deal with. And I think that has also helped me to feel better about certain arguments.
Hi, my name is Johansel, and today I'm gonna explain you guys how we manage anger in DR. And yeah, let's get into it. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you some situations and how I control it, like how me personally control it. And yeah, many Dominicans, they be like managing their anger issues by screaming. Most of them are like the same. They be screaming a lot. For example, I got a guy that lives next to me, and whenever he gets mad, he just starts yelling. And other people like my auntie and multiple people, I know that they get mad, and the only way that they can fix it or like get better, or you know what I'm saying, they just go for a walk, so they can like calm down. And other people just like they be praying or listening to music. For example, one day I was in a bank, and there was a man that was in the bank line, and he was like screaming and yelling at the guy that was supposed to give him his service, right? And there was a girl in front of him, and she told him to take a deep breath and think about something nice. And I don't know if it worked, but if it did, it was great because he actually stopped screaming at people and all of that. And yeah, that'll be all. Me personally, the way I control like anger issues is by just playing video games or listening to music. But there's some people that can like do something that they actually like do something else. And what's it called? and talking to somebody that actually listens and pay attention to them. And yeah, the reason why I play video games and listen to music and that's how I control my anger is because back in the day when I used to be like younger, I used to be like 14, 16. Whenever I used to get like beat up by my father or mother, I used to like get in my room, locked it up, and just play video games until like my anger was gone and I could like go back outside and talk to them. And yeah, I feel like that will be all. Many Dominicans have anger issues, but we all do. And I feel like, yeah, we just gotta find our way to like lower the anger issues because we want to live in peace. And yeah, the OBL, that was everything I wanted to say about my anger issues and Dominican issues, whatever. And yeah, thank you.
Hello there, my name is Wilson, and I'll be talking just a little bit on anger management and how Dominicans typically deal with it. Uh, First of all, I would like to go ahead and start by anger management and anger in general. Uh, Dominicans typically do have some uniqueness in how they handle things, since we are usually known by our expressive nature, and we are very, very passionate in the way that we go about doing things. So typically, what I do believe to be anger management in the most typical sense of the name would be to just using humor to diffuse these situations or just simply to diffuse tension. We usually crack jokes, make fun of each other in a friendly way, of course, just to lower down the tension between us sometimes. Also, uh, just a little bit more personal in this one, we do also usually seek support from family and friends. So we are usually very united, very family oriented. So I do believe that that is a very strong way in managing one's emotions, just like taking the time to talk with somebody, having them listening to what you're going through. I do believe that that is a very good way to handle that sort of problems. Also, just to distract yourself a little bit from the anger, we could do some activities. I do generally like to listen to music, play video games as well. But generally, music is what functions more to me because it gets me more relaxed, more in a mood to slow things down a notch and just really uh, get my mind out of that situation from, from which I'm getting a lot of difficulties. So, yeah, also, I've worked a little bit in customer service, and handling other people's anger is really hard. But from my experience, what really works best is to just keep a calm demeanor, just explain things with firmness, but also just making sure that the other person understands that you're trying to do the best for them and you're trying to help them. So, yeah, really, that would be it for my part. So, thank you so much for listening.